title is Slovenian Infrastructure Agency on Primary Roads. I'll talk about our challenges in this area, and then we'll continue about the motorcyclists and school children that we are doing right now, or amongst other things. So regarding this new approach that we have, methodology for wide road safety, network management, we are dealing with that. We are building together how to do it. Every country has its own agenda on this area, and we decided to use things that we have already. So the data we have, we will not do something that it's more or less in theory, not in practice. So for now, we are gathering all the data about the accidents, the road, how the pavement is good or bad, and so on. And we put all the layers into the Google, as you can see, and then evaluate these roads from green to red, meaning for everything is okay, or red, everything is not so okay. So as you can see on these slides, some of the roads, when we put the data in about the surface, how the asphalt is good or bad, and the accident, we cross-lay them, and we saw that where the asphalt is in bad condition, slippery, also the accident will occur when wet or something like that. So we are now putting the layers together and identifying some of the hot spots that, of course, will take immediate actions. The other one we are also, I would say, not say playing, but dealing with, is also the placement of weather stations. We have some weather stations alongside the road. Mostly we use them for winter maintenance, meaning that we know where the road conditions are bad or extremely extreme, then we go there and of course put some salt or something like that. But of course we are also now seeking those spots to manage traffic via ITS and so on, so that we will communicate with road users, look, this section is actually dangerous right now, not in general. So, of course, also those data are coming together at the moment as we speak, and also we cross-lay the data of bad conditions on the road due to weather, because there are some sections that don't see sun during the winter, meaning they are cold all the time, or they see a sun during the day and during the night is extreme, so that means that there will be slippery road, more or less. And also data lie. That means that when the road conditions are bad, accidents do happen. And of course, all the data we are gathering is day, night conditions, and also different temperatures, so that we have more data and then extract what is meaningful to us. So why? As I started at the beginning, more or less until now we did it for the winter maintenance, and in the future we will of course use it to communicate in real time with traffic via the traffic center, via the VMS, let's say ITS solutions and so on. So hopefully at the end of this year we will have the program in place and started actually to use it. Of course, all the data that we have are still going in, and we're still debating what to use, what not to use, or what is relevant to us or what is not. And as I said at the beginning, we are using the data we already have, and the data we will need, of course, we will implement or put in the future. So this is about the struggle, about the, let's say, star rating of our roads. And the next theme is more or less about the human factors. The human factors is like something that we all have in common, regardless of our age, nationality, and so on. Those are the factors that actually influence us the way we drive, meaning that if the road is telling us speed up, we'll speed up. If the road tells us slow down, we'll slow down. So this is what we perceive and what we then react upon that perception. So that knowledge was used in two of our, let's say, project that was, of course, at the beginning pilot project, and now we are actually doing it on all the roads. And of course, one of this is for the school children's safety. As I told you that human factors, these are pictures below. You have road layout with different speed limits, but the road layout is the same. So it will tell you if you are outside the settlement, it will be probably just like this, some linear settlement. So actually, if you're not attentive, as drivers, we are not 100% all the time, this is fact. You don't know what is the speed limit. So how to communicate with the driver, look, there's a school around, slow down, be careful, be attentive, and so on. So we started with some of the special pilot project for school children's safety. And of course, we did several evaluations before and after. So this is not just a wild guess that they think it is okay, but actually it works. And if we design, or let's say redesign the road properly, then we will have drivers slow down and be more attentive in traffic. And this is especially what we want around schools and the area that school children walk to school and so on. So here are some examples. Of course, those measures are designed to be implemented promptly. From today to the next week it could be done. It is not so much on the construction level, but more or less of signage and urban equipment. So for example, you can see some of those solutions here. Of course, there's many of them across all the roads because you have to adjust the solution according to the needs. Here are some examples as well. And of course, we have issues, like always, and I always like to emphasize those because it's not all gold and shiny, it's also something you have to deal with and be careful and upgrade. And what we found until now that contractors usually don't use the right materials, so you have to be really good with the supervision, or they would use wrong foil sheetings or so on, and sometimes solutions are not thought through. So for pictures below, you can see the little colorful posts. Actually, they are really nice when you drive on the main road, but when you're on a secondary road, going left or right, those bollards obstruct the view, so you don't see which vehicles are coming. So every solution, even if it's intended as a good one, could be sometimes an issue. So really, that's why it's really important that people who design this and also implement and supervise have efficient knowledge, not only in paper but also in here. And of course, some pictures below of the design that is actually like a children drawing. This is of course not okay, because upon those images you cannot actually implement on the road. I mean, you can do it, but then you have bad solution. So yeah, we are still working on that, but more or less with time the level is going up. And to be happy about it, some of my colleagues from transport community saw this as a good solution, and they translated in several Western Balkans languages, so that those guidelines, of course, are available to many of you. And if I'm not mistaken, some of new translations will be soon available also. So yeah, it's really good. Well, I talked with colleagues. Now we'll switch slowly towards motorcyclists that are from FIMA, so it's the European Association of Motorcyclists. They say all those colorful markings are good, but how about the motorcyclists and the slipperiness? Motorcycle can fall upon those slippery markings. Of course, we use those markings especially with a special grid, so they are slippery resistant. Again, proper materials, proper supervision. Of course, somebody can implement not so good materials on the road, so this is really important. And the bollards, you can see the circle around, they're also passive safe, meaning that if the motorcyclist by chance falls down and hit the bollards, motorcyclists will not be injured by them. So you have to think all the way through to make solutions good for all road users, not only for car drivers. So again, we did something about the motorcyclists. Of course, it's very important. And what is in a way sad, I would say, is that talking about the infrastructure and the solutions for motorcyclists, there's only one European standard. So more or less guardrails and dealing with stuff that is already too late, meaning when you already fall down, then of course the protective barrier for motorcyclists will help you or not. That's why we decided to use again human factors approach and try to communicate with the drivers, all drivers, but especially with motorcyclists, to warn them prior to the dangerous spot to, wow, be careful, slow down, look, something is happening, this curve is not as the one before, it's something more dangerous or whatever. And of course, again, we did several monitorings to see if our solutions that we think they're okay are actually working. And thank God they did. And those who had the higher level of, let's say, now I'm stuck. They were the best ones, meaning they influenced drivers in the best way. We use the most, of course. So again, we use different materials, especially the bollards that we guide drivers through the curves, or some special markings that are designed to guide motorcyclists and again slow them down. What is really the important issue for us, because not all motorcyclists are racist. Some of them are normal drivers, but you just need to warn them in advance and they will adjust accordingly. And again, we did, of course, we made our guidelines that are now being in a level up to the technical specification for Slovenian roads, dealing with all issues that are important mostly for motorcyclists. So what to be careful about when designing or maintaining the road and use, let's say, materials or solutions that are appropriate. And more or less that's it. So I hope I was in time, because I counted in all the minutes before I stand here. Thank you.